my lord. Boop. This day has been a long time coming. I've been looking forward to this day. We have many, many things to do. We gotta go down to the ice section, get those new things there. Ooh. Okay, let's take a look here. I see Dimitri is assuming the position. The Storm Shark party's tonight. Weekly fishing. What is weekly fishing? You need to find the fish that Udo asked you to? I thought we did. Let's grab this. Did he give us a new one? Maybe. There's that. Great. All right, so we need to get invasive starfish, investigate dangerous gemstones, get a jade pedestal, get more clams, and get more sea life stuff. Cold resistance diving suit. All right, let's grab this. Grab more air. We'll have to update our salvage drone another time here. The steel net gun. Let's do this. Ray says, is Starfield everything you ever dreamed of? I have no idea. I haven't played it yet. I hope it is. Oh, one sec. Yeah, I have no idea. Pelican eel skin, steel rope. A gun that fires a steel net increases the number of targets and can be captured as well as the rank. So it doesn't say we can catch large fish though. Huh. I don't know about this. We also need to get this. Wait, nope, not that. This. For that we need vampire squid tentacles. More topaz. We need a bunch of stuff. We need all the things. It says the rank is higher, but does that mean it's the highest? Oh, let's check the farm. Oh, we gotta find the missing beluga as well. Hello from Portugal. Big ups to Portugal, man. Oh, nice. Harvest complete. Bada boom. Okay. I think we're all set here. Okay, let's go to the bottom area first. Hey, Average Kimpachi, what's up, buddy? It's cold. Human, your clothes look very warm. Why don't you go inside and take a look? You're weaker than you look. Oh, this is to find the missing beluga? I think so. That was weird. Okay. Oh no! I brought the net gun, not a trank gun. I have made a huge mistake. I didn't mean to equip that. Well, hopefully we'll find a trank something down here. Ow. Hey, Cohh, when will the beanie be on the store? Is there a chance it will also be in the Europe section? Most likely because our supplier for the beanies is in the US, it won't be in the Europe section, but it should be back on the store later this year. Yep. I'm sorry about that. It's kind of a specialized product. poison sniper rifle. Okay. I think my settings reset. Don't eat the sniper rifle? I'm gonna. Can't stop me. Oh, thank God. Okay. I would have liked to have tranked him, but that's okay. The sad thing is we unfortunately don't look like we're going to have any good dishes for Shark Week, which makes me a sad little potato. Yeah. How'd I put fish in my farm? Once you unlock the fish farm, then when you start capturing fish, you'll have a very small chance to get the fish's roe, in which case that is then like an egg. Yeah. The short answer is just keep catching the type of fish you want in your fish farm, and you will eventually get the eggs for them. You don't have to do anything special, just capture them. I think you get a much better chance if you capture them alive, though. Cohh, you have the ADHD tag on, so I thought I'd ask, how do you get yourself to do stuff? I can't seem to do one thing for more than a few minutes, even if I want to. Oh my God, a frozen cod? So the thing is, Genesis, is that is a question that's going to be different for every person. For some people, medication works best. For some people, like me, it doesn't. And I had to come up with different things and ways to do that. For me personally, goal setting and really buckling down. It took me years of doing that to get there. And I still wrestle with it all the time, as anyone that watches the stream will tell you. But that being said, the best thing you can do is talk to a professional about it. And figure out the best option for you, because it works different for every person. So unfortunately, I wish I could give you a magic answer, but it just doesn't exist, because it manifests and works differently in different people. So there's different solutions for every person generally. Yeah. I had to try so many different things before I kind of figured out how I work, essentially. And it's still, I mean, I'm almost 40 years old, and it's still a process I'm going through. So. But to answer your question, the best thing you can do is experiment, try things, talk to a professional, and try things. Figure out what works best for you. Now, what is this? A starry skate. Yeah, Two Sky also brings up a good point, and just to reiterate, this also applies even more to therapists and therapy. But just always keep in mind there are many different doctors that have many different perspectives, and to put it bluntly, many different skill levels. So if you go to a doctor and you feel like it's not really working out, don't feel bad trying another doctor, especially when it comes to therapy. So, something to consider and keep in mind. Sometimes trying different things is also trying different healthcare providers. Yeah. We're going to wait on him because I would like to bring him up with a trank if I can. So I'm going to see if we can get lucky and maybe grab a thing down here. Mikey Carr says, therapy changed my life for the better. Me too. Yep. 100%. And for me, I actually embody what I just said, because I had some pretty severe mental blocks when I was younger, and that involved me not being able to do things in my life that I wanted to. And it took me seeing I think on my 4th therapist is when I found a therapist that actually told me what I needed to hear. And sometimes that's all it takes. So, Oh no. So yeah, it's 100% something you got to work through. Discard that. What did I have to work through? I had something called separation anxiety, and I had a rather extreme case of it when I was much younger. I had some. Here's the thing. Trauma is very subjective, and I had some childhood trauma, which these days, honestly, is not like, it's childhood trauma because it was trauma to me, and that was seeing a movie that I shouldn't have seen way too early, and it created some mental blocks for me that triggered separation anxiety, and I couldn't leave the house at night. I had to have a parent with me to go upstairs, or I would get like debilitating, like horrible stomach discomfort, vomiting, like terrible stuff. It was terrible stuff. And it took me years of therapy to get through that. Yep. And funny enough, I tried therapy with like 3 other therapists for actual years, and then I found the right one, and the dude had me fixed in like 2 sessions. So it's like, sometimes you just gotta do it. What was the movie? Alien. Yep, the movie was Alien. The original Alien. I saw it way too young, and I saw it way too young, and I happened to have, I've had this lifelong thing called tinnitus, and unfortunately, one of the things of my tinnitus is that I can hear the blood in my ears, and it's like the stars aligned on this. I had a significantly bad night of hearing the blood rushing through my ears the night that I saw Aliens. So as a young child, I was fundamentally convinced I could hear breathing inside my body after seeing this movie called Alien for the first time as a young child. And so I literally was like trying to jab things in my ear, getting this thing that I was fully convinced was inside me out of my body. And that triggered all sorts of stuff. It was a thing. So that like started this whole thing. That was crazy, man. It was crazy. I don't talk about it often, to be honest. So yeah. And somebody said, what did they do? So here's the thing. So therapy is an art form, right? It's an art form. It's don't get me wrong, it's a science, but there's also an art to therapy. And how you approach things can sometimes be like the answer to how they're remedied. So in my case, I had this horrible anxiety. I had all sorts of these issues that were just not good. And I kept going to therapists over and over, and what they did was they treated it like it was something I had to block. And they treated it, and they kept giving me ways to block it out and ignore it and to deal with it. Or not really, not to deal with it, to make it act like it wasn't there. And none of it worked. None of it worked. In fact, like at one point with one therapist, I just told my mom, I was like, this is a waste of my time. Like they're literally just telling me the same thing over and over. It's clearly not working. Like, and this is, I was a young kid when I was saying this, so you know something's wrong at that point. So finally we went to this guy, and the first session was me kind of like explaining the situation and what was going on and what these other therapists have been telling me to do. And it was interesting because he looked at me, and at the end of me explaining it to him, he looked at me and he just smiled, and he was like, oh, we got this. And I was just kind of like,
Nani?
What do you mean we got this? And he goes, here's the thing. I don't know who those therapists were, and I don't know who they are, but they've been going about this completely wrong. You can't do this. And he said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to teach you how to embrace that stress, how to make it a part of you, and how to make yourself invincible to it while fundamentally acknowledging that it's there. And in the rest of that session and the next session, he taught me meditation techniques. He taught me like acceptance stuff. He taught me like all these little he called it a toolbox, and he gave me all these tools in my toolbox and how to deal with this stuff when it flares up. I kid you not, by the end of the second session, it was like I was cured. It was wild. The only thing I needed was for somebody to tell me the right thing. Now, of course, that's not for every mental issue, but for some people it is. And for some people, it's about finding the person who has the right set of words in the right order that will unlock your doors that you've locked for yourself in your brain. So that's why I always tell people, like, if you've been with a therapist for years and you don't feel like you're making progress, find a new therapist. Find a new therapist, because they may not have the words in the right order to help you hear what you need to hear. So like, don't ever hesitate. Like, leave on good terms, you know. But yeah, it's a thing. So he teaches you basic coping mechanics. Kind of sad the other therapist didn't manage that. Umizwa, you're right, but the thing is that the other therapists weren't approaching the problem like he was. They were teaching me things, but it was all to block. Like the perspective was, there's an enemy outside of your gates and you need to fortify your gates and not let it in. That was how all the other therapists were treating it. While this guy was like, no, you let the enemy in and you deal with it. Like, don't. It was a fundamental flip of my understanding in how the whole thing agreed. Or how the whole thing existed inside me. So yeah, it was cool. It was very cool. I feel like that's a lot of things in life, is like not, and that funny enough, that kind of came from that. But a lot of things in life, you just kind of have to you have to face head on, kind of things. A bottom. Okay, we also got a bag and a jade fish statue. All right, let's go. Yeah, it was very good. So did you finally take out the chest burster with all the tools the therapist gave you? No, I had to go to the doctor for that. Yeah, thankfully it had not implanted too long, so they were able to get it out pretty easily. It only wrapped around a few vital organs, but they used some of that acid neutralizer and got it out relatively easily. I still have the scar. Hey, Long Care, how you doing today? Have you ever rewatched Alien after therapy? Yes. The thing, it's interesting, because like, that's why I said subjectively it was trauma for me, but it's not like general trauma. Like there's a billion things that are 1,000 times worse than what I went through, but it was trauma for me. Like it was, you know, which I feel a lot of trauma is for people. But it wasn't trauma in the general sense. It was a trauma from my young child perspective. Yeah. And I've seen Alien since then. I've had, like, it was just, you know, it was just a sequence of unfortunate events. It was a sequence of unfortunate events to happen to a small child. Yeah. There's lowercase t trauma and capital T trauma. I agree. And this was like a T that's smaller than the rest of the word trauma. So it's like a little tiny T and then Rama after it. That was the trauma I went through. The tiniest little T, you can barely see it. It's like 4 pixels. Yeah. Oh yeah. More like drama. Yeah, kind of. Yeah. You don't look well. You want to try this? This is actually a really sad quest, because this beluga got really sick and felt like it was gonna die and like left the city to go die alone, just like animals do. But hey, you look better now. I'm relieved. Yeah. Why don't you return to the village? How old was I when I saw Alien? I was like 5 or 6, I want to say, and maybe a little bit older. And for the record, I saw it completely without my parents' permission. Yeah, when my mom found out, she was horrified. Yeah, we had gotten like a free trial of like HBO or something. They didn't know about it, so like I was just like, yeah, it was rough. It was rough. I was definitely at the age when I couldn't quite fundamentally understand Hollywood for being Hollywood. So it was very much like, oh cool, a documentary on aliens. It was bad. Yep. But yeah, so that's my story on crazy mental stuff. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. I appreciate it. Your smile slowly turning into a frown, pretty much. Can we go up this way? Let's go up this way. Let's go this way. Thank you for sharing. My pleasure. My pleasure. What about the tinnitus? How do you fix that? Cope with that? Tinnitus, you just learn to deal with. I've had massive tinnitus my entire life. You just have to learn to deal with it. I use ocean sounds and white noise everywhere. I've never heard silence. I don't know what it sounds like to not hear anything. My tinnitus is considered a pretty bad case. So I've never in my entire life heard silence. And if things get quiet, my tinnitus gets louder. So it's yeah, I pretty much always have noise around me at all time. Yep. I sleep with like a fan on, an ocean sound thing, all that stuff. Yep. Ooh, 85. Dude, this gun is amazing. Thankfully, I have 3 kids now, so I'll never know what silence sounds like again anyway. Oh no, I would never even consider. Well, I mean, maybe consider it in some ways, but doing like one of those sensory deprivation chambers like that. Nothing about that is nothing about that sounds fun for me. I'd be like, can I do a sensory deprivation chamber with an ocean machine sound thing? Like, is that a thing? And they would just look at me like I'm crazy. Silence just means they're up to something. Not wrong. Not wrong. Okay, so unfortunately we did not get what we were hoping to get, which is I was hoping to get a trank thing, so I think we're just gonna take out this shark down here. Short. We're gonna head up. Oh yeah, funny enough, tinnitus is actually wildly more common than people think. And a lot of people have tinnitus and don't even realize it. Tinnitus is not a hugely uncommon thing these days. We have so many things in this world, especially man-made, are so much louder than our body has evolved to deal with. And it's all come on so quickly in the course of history that tons of people, I mean, somebody earlier in chat just said they got tinnitus from going to an F1 race. Absolutely. People that have gone to concerts can come out with tinnitus. My mom worked with somebody who worked in radio, and they got feedback in their headphones one day when somebody accidentally dropped a cable onto a power outlet that was that shot then a feedback thing. He got like a horrible case of tinnitus from that. Yeah, I mean, it's so like you overload your ears in an insane amount, like a single time, and you can potentially come out with tinnitus. I mean, it's terrible. Yeah. Oh, one sec. I've heard a whooshing in my ears my whole life. That's not tinnitus. That's actually a separate. It's not really a malady. That's a separate thing, where the vessels in your ears can sometimes come close to your eardrums, and your ears will. And I actually have this. I had this too. I had it a lot worse when I was younger. I don't really have it these days, but it'll make it so when your heart beats. When your heart beats, you can hear the blood going through the vessels. The more you stand, which is wild. Some people have it really bad. Yeah, you actually hear your blood pressure. Thanks, Greg. Yeah, you're literally hearing your heartbeat. It sounds like, and if you don't know what it is, then in my case, it sounds almost like a very light breathing. So it's like yeah. Oh wait, time out. Oh, the seaweed guy has a quest. Okay, let's check this out. Can you briefly explain what meditation technique, please? I'm really interested. Well, I mean, there's not really one meditation technique, and everything, you know, it all works differently for different people. The technique that I was taught that worked really well was not only deep breathing with counting / chanting, which is a very common one, but then on top of that, there's a very, this is an extremely basic explanation of this, but there's a mindfulness kind of meditation technique where you basically focus on how parts of your body are feeling that you normally just tune out. So like you start at like the tips of your extremities and you focus on parts of your body and what you're feeling on them, and you kind of move through different parts of your body all the way through, giving like all of your focus to it to try to discern what's there. And learning how to do that properly is very powerful in terms of allowing you to like quiet your mind. Yeah. So that was a big thing that helped me a lot. Where'd it go? What happened? The manatee's baby, it just suddenly disappeared. Uh-oh. Manatee's mom is also worried things are getting out of hand. Do you have any ideas? Maybe it saw the beluga and went to the glacial area. Okay, we'll check that out later. Bubbit, just to reiterate, whenever I see this in chat, I like to mention it. These guys are awesome. I'm partnered with them. I strongly recommend them. If you are looking for a new computer, our GPU rocks. Check out the unboxing video in that command to see how their deliciously sexy cable management is. They are well priced, they ship everywhere, and they have some of the best customer service I've seen from any computer provider. I have 5 computers by them, and I've been using them for years, and that's one of the reasons I partner with them. I strongly recommend them. So if you are looking for a new computer, definitely check out Power GPU. They'll even help you like spec out your computer if you don't know what you want. If you know nothing about computers, they will help you spec out a machine that's custom for you and then build it for you. But yeah, definitely recommend it. Oh, these are sprouts. Okay. 2 thumbs up. Can you pay with bottle caps? I'm not sure. They are US based, I believe. Yeah. I saw a man using sign language with his baby and reminded me of you. I was curious, at what age did you start sign language with them? We started sign language with our kids, all of them, basically immediately. I mean, it takes, you don't really see the effects of using sign language with your kids until later, but using it as early as possible, like basically just immediately. I mean, it probably doesn't help immediately, but just get it in the habit of doing it all the time. And it's awesome. Yep. It's awesome. Kids are able to sign their needs much earlier than their brain develops the ability for them to vocalize it. So all of our kids were able to tell us like if they wanted more, if they were tired, if they were all done, like they were all able to do that way before they could actually vocalize it. And it's really handy when your baby can tell you when he's like all done with food and he's, you know, or that he's tired and wants to take a nap, or if he wants more of something, like it's awesome. Strongly recommend. But no, it takes tons of time with 0 progress. Like it takes, you know, I think we were doing it for 6 months to a year without like any progress at all. You just kind of have to. When did I learn sign language? Oh, I learned from my kids. I didn't know it at all before I taught my kids. And it's just basic stuff. Yep. Gargrans, thank you for the 85 months. What made you decide to teach your kids sign language? Just from the amount of people that told us how it makes things so much easier when they're younger. And sure enough, it absolutely does. Can confirm. How do you sign I'm hungry? Generally you say eat. That was our sign, was eat. Yep. Did you see the clip of Zeke making the Xbox sign language interpreter sign D's nuts? I did, and it was amazing. I absolutely did. It was a phenomenal clip. I'm sorry.